everyone, I'm Chris Ercoli, and welcome to your Week 8 edition of the HS Game Time You PickEm Show. Wouldn't be a You PickEm Show without the prep dog, Mr. John Murphy, in the house as always. Some new stunner shades. He's looking sharp. We like him. Anyways, let us first reflect our Week 7 winner, Scott Schum out of Murrieta Valley. 14 out of 18 for Scott. Congratulations for his Week 7 win. This week, though, we feel like with the lineup that we have that we're all winners. We begin with one of the big games this week. It's a classic game out of Redlands. It's Rev and Redlands right now. P-Dog, 67% taking Rev. What do you think?
First of all, this is Rev's home game, but it's being played at Redlands High, which
Interesting twist.
Kind of interesting in itself in that, you know, there's a problem with the U of R and what they charge and all that, but we won't go all into that. Rev has won the last 5 games in the series. They're my pick again. It's tough to go against them in a close game, but it does promise to be another nail biter, as most of the recent Rev Redlands games have been. Craig Lee is coming off a tremendous game against Cajon. I saw the highlights of some of his runs, and they're pretty spectacular, running over people against Cajon. They've got some playmakers and Jimmy Walker, and then their 2 receivers, Jones and Ori, each have 4 touchdown catches apiece. But Rev has played a more difficult schedule. They played St. Bonnie's, Vista Murrieta, and Mission Viejo in a row, and they lost all those games, but I think it really toughened them, and I think they're ready to take on the Terriers.
Yeah, definitely a tough non-league schedule for Rev. Speaking of Vista Murrieta, they are our second game and also the HS Game Time Game of the Week. Why, you may ask? Because they're playing Murrieta Valley, both teams with a perfect undefeated record. They clash at Murrieta Valley. That's our tiebreaker game as well. We've got 96% taking Vista Murrieta. No one too confused by that one at the moment. P-Dog, how do you feel about this game?
Well, I like Vista Murrieta. They lead the series 6-2, and they've won the last 3 games against the Nighthawks. I covered one of those games, and it was kind of like close for a while, and then near the end of the first half, Vista Murrieta started to take control, and I think that'll happen again. Vista Murrieta has scored a lot of points on defense, 64 defensive points this season, 10 touchdowns, 2 safeties. Sua Cravens is averaging 7 points a game. They've got Nick Stevens, Keyshawn Holmes, so they've got some offensive weapons. Murrieta Valley can also score on defense. They haven't done quite as much of it as Vista Murrieta has, but last week they had some key defensive plays to help them through. They've got Jacob Augustin as a ball carrier, had 184 yards last game. Hector Batista can catch the ball, and then Andrew Blake has been the quarterback for the last several seasons. He's seasoned, and he's not going to make many mistakes, but I just don't think that Murrieta Valley has enough to get by Vista Murrieta.
I saw both teams last week on Friday night. Both were looking good, but Vista Murrieta, probably too many weapons for Murrieta Valley to handle, although it's rivalry week. You never really know. Our next game, Elsinore and Temescal. Canyon. Elsinore has been kind of dominating the Sun Belt League recently. They did have a huge victory 2 weeks ago against Paloma. Can they stay hot?
I think they can. They need this one to keep pace with Heritage in the Sun Belt League. Elsinore with that great rushing combo of Alan Stubbs and Shane Pico, I think is probably going to be a little too much for Temescal Canyon. But Temescal Canyon does have its weapons with Kirkpatrick is a dangerous receiver. He's averaging nearly 30 yards per catch. And then they've got Trimble at quarterback and Lindemann rushing the ball. So they can make a little noise. Can they stay with Elsinore? Not really sure about that.
Another shootout in the Sun Belt League is Paloma Valley and Heritage. We saw the shootout between Elsinore and Paloma Valley 2 weeks ago. P-Dog, you got to expect, with 83% taking Heritage right now, but we got to expect another shootout between these two teams.
Yeah, I like Heritage in this game. You know, the one loss to Great Oak does kind of give me pause, but they do have some good victories, namely Rancho Verde and Beaumont. Beaumont's a pretty strong team this year. And they've beaten Rialto. Rialto's tough. Jamal Morrow has gained 1,300 yards. He's got 13 touchdowns. Allensworth is an outstanding player, 26 yards per catch. He's got 3 interceptions, and he's averaging 40 yards per return. A very dangerous guy for the Patriots. Paloma Valley, well, they've got the great running back in David Solis, and Heritage is going to have to stop him if they're going to have success. And I imagine, you know, Solis will gain his yards, but I don't think that they're going to be able to take down Heritage.
Definitely should be some exciting games on Friday night. Also got 2 games on Thursday night as well, so be sure to get your picks in, those Thursday night picks by 5 p.m. and also on Friday by 5 p.m. for those Friday games. That does it for this edition of the HS Game Time You Pick'em show. For the prep dog John Murphy, I'm Chris, and we'll see you out there on Friday night.